South London, which supports teenagers who are suffering from depression and anxiety. One 18-year-old says she struggled to get help from her GP and is grateful to her teacher, who eventually told her about this centre.
It's so much better. Even if they're busy, there's someone who's able to talk to you if you need it. Yeah, it really does help just to have someone to tell all your feelings rather than just have them all inside yourself.
A report out today by a government task force is expected to warn that children and young people are at risk of not getting treatment because of the complicated way mental health services have been set up. It's also expected to point to longer waits to see doctors and therapists, and that youngsters have increasingly complex and severe symptoms. The government says a radical shake-up is required.
There's an extraordinary consensus, I think, around the proposals in the task force report, and I think that, combined with the money that Nick Clegg announced over the weekend, gives us the opportunity to secure genuine equality for mental health, but particularly for children and young people.
But Labour says spending cuts have caused the problems.
The government has failed to prioritise mental health, and particularly within it, children's mental health. Services have fallen into crisis in this Parliament. There are many stories of highly vulnerable young people being shunted up and down the motorways of this country in search of a crisis bed. I mean, that just simply is not acceptable.
The government's plans to improve the care of children and young people with mental illness have been welcomed by charities, but doctors are warning they need to be carefully implemented if they're to protect